Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Green. You're watching Greenwave TV Alternative Media Television. It is April 25th, 2013. I am truly sickened by these latest reports, according to the Register, according to NewJersey.com, according to Zero Hedge, according to InfoWars, according to some YouTube videos I'm now watching, and this was of course mentioned in my interview that we just posted. Boston bombing, mainstream media changes narrative, FBI operated. According to these sources, the student falsely ID'd by Reddit as Boston bomber has been found dead. Sunil Tripathi, the 22-year-old Brown University philosophy student mistakenly identified as a suspect in the Boston bombings by amateur investigators on Reddit, has been found dead in the Providence River, his family has said. They go on to say how the last month has changed their lives. They give us some bullshit line about him suffering from depression. There is no way, it would be very unlikely that Sunil would kill himself. He went missing on March 15th. It says over a month before the bombings, it left 3 people dead and 264 wounded. This smells rotten. Again, I am truly sickened by this report. It is just more compounding evidence of the largest cover-up in the history of America. The FBI is obviously in on it. The U.S. government is in on this operation, on this cover-up. Call it a false flag, call it a conspiracy, call it what you may. We've put out some 15 plus videos on this. There is enough corroborating evidence and probable cause to warrant an immediate third-party investigation by some form or some kind of independent body to find and seek the truth. You know, it's amazing to me how many people watch our videos, and we've moved several million views actually this week, some of the biggest traffic we've ever had in the history of our grassroots media organization. But how many people in the mainstream think we're the crackpots and we're the lunatics here? Here you have Sunil, and remember, there was numerous suspects identified. There was the Saudi national that was later cleared and then mysteriously deported by the Obama administration. There was Sunil, this 22-year-old Brown University philosophy student who is now dead, who winds up dead in Providence River, and they're gonna try to insinuate that this is a suicide. This isn't a suicide, America. This isn't a tragic, I'm gonna take my life. No, this is a murder. This is a homicide. This is, we're gonna whack anyone and everything connected with this thing that could corroborate any evidence to incriminate the FBI, the CIA, the Obama administration, in this dirty, dirty, flagrant federal government that has been dirty and flagrant from the very beginning. This is about guns. This is about an agenda to destroy our liberty. And you know what, Rachel Maddow? Yeah, it is. To enslave us. It is to enslave us, you dumb bitch. I'll call you a dumb hoe live on the air. In fact, have me on your program and I'll call you a dumb hoe to your face, because you're a freaking disgrace. And the way the mainstream media is positioning this and lambasting and stereotyping and labeling the truther movement, 9/11 trutherism, patriots, Americans, constitutionalists everywhere, quite frankly, is sickening. And so is the murder, let me repeat that, homicide, the likely killing and murder of Sunil Tripathi. Just another innocent bystander that got in the way of the Obama regime. And so you know what? Don't let the truth get out, America. They're going to kill these people, and it's exactly what I believe, and I believe wholeheartedly that they have done. Again, this is not just the Register. This is reported by NewJersey.com, Zero Hedge, InfoWars, numerous videos on YouTube. There was a great report from the Daily Mail that I also just read corroborating more evidence that the parents believed that their sons were set up. The Tsarnaev brothers, it was a total lie. Officials have now changed their story and officially changed the narrative. That means they lied to us about the younger brother being armed with a 9mm during a hour-long shootout. That is now confirmed is a total lie and total bullshit. And here we have another innocent victim. But of course, nobody gives a shit. The only thing America gives a shit is about what the precious mainstream media tells them to give a shit about. You know, they care about the 3 people that died in the Boston bombing, but don't care who did it, nor are they willing to investigate the truth behind who the real perpetrators are. This is a conspiracy. This was a false flag. This was an operation. And, you know, none of us, including myself, have all the information at our fingertips. But what we do have, and take it from a guy who's literally been in the depths of hell, quite literally researching this shit, hours on end, over the past week or so, we are dealing with some of the most dangerous information and flagrant information that I have ever seen in my lifetime in the history that I have been doing this. And it demands a third-party investigation. If you give a shit about these 3 people that died at the Boston explosions and the Boston bombing and the dozens wounded, or if you give a shit about this young kid, a Brown University student who was just whacked courtesy of the Obama administration, then this deserves a full frontal investigation and a search for the truth, which we are clearly not getting. Remember, the eldest brother, Tamerlan, was investigated and interviewed in 2011. But for some reason, they let him go. Why? Why would they do that? Ask yourself that question. The only reason a rational mind or a critical thinker could surmise is that somehow the FBI was directly connected and had concocted this event from the get-go. Whether or not the Tsarnaev brothers were double agents, or they were patsies, or working for the FBI, or the CIA, or maybe other terrorist organizations or units overseas, really doesn't matter. But what does matter is that we know with absolute certainty, in my opinion, that we are dealing with the most aggressive, flagrant, disgusting, stomach-churning cover-up in the history, in my opinion, of America, worse and far bigger than September 11th. Let me remind you, let me show you the horror that was perpetrated by your government in Boston. Because you need to see these pictures if you haven't already. Maybe it'll give you a little added motivation to investigate the truth. And you see some of these are pretty mundane. You see the images of this gentleman with the loss of limbs. There's been some investigation around that within the alternative media, say he's an actor. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. Here you see the blood splattered all over the streets, the bombs going off. You see a child in a wheelchair. I mean, this is what we're dealing with. These are the type of sick, evil individuals that would literally murder innocent Americans to accomplish a political agenda. Not my opinion. Not my opinion. Operation Northwoods, a declassified document released by the United States government, you can Wikipedia this, I've reported on this extensively, goes over numerous accounts of planned false flag terrorism to be deployed on the United States, within the U.S., in Washington, at the White House, overseas, to generate and propagandize the American people into a war against Cuba. You remember the Cuban Missile Crisis, I'm sure many of you do. This is what we're dealing with. We are at war. If this isn't a media war here, I don't know what is. And honestly, the proof in the pudding is the amount of interest that we are seeing, not just on my websites, not just on the Drudge Report, not just on InfoWars, but the amount of interest and volume of traffic that we've been getting and seeing over the past few weeks, the American people are waking up to the truth. They realize that this person here is a fraud, has had every intention, working on behalf of his handlers, to do one thing: confiscate your guns, confiscate your liberty, and destroy your freedom. And you know what? Some people might write that off as a crackpot suggestion, and I know the liberal mainstream bullshit media, people like Rachel Maddow, are going to call me a conspiracy nut. But you know what they say. You know the old saying, don't you? First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. And we are at the stage, my friends, where we are engaged in a full, all-out confrontation, war, and battle, the forces between good and evil. This is a media war, and we are engaged in it now. Please get this message out to as many people as you can. Please help us investigate Sunil Tripathi's, another innocent victim in all this, another senseless homicide. Please help us investigate this truth. Tweet it everywhere. Get it out to the viewing public. Rip it. Re-upload. You've got my permission. This is about the truth, my friends. Nothing else. I want to thank you for your support and all that you're doing and your encouragement. It keeps me going. Because believe me, I'm a little tuckered out. I wish I didn't have to report on this shit. But when we have a regime and we have a government with a clear intention of murdering innocents to achieve their little political ideology, that of transforming the good old United States to a socialist, I would argue, fascist dictatorship, there is nothing these people, his handlers, and this person wouldn't do. Kill, murder, maim, dismember. They've done it before, and in my opinion, they just did it April 15th, 2013 in Boston. I'm Christopher Green, hard-hitting and in your face. Get this out everywhere you can. Peace.